Here's the top 5 worst pieces of photography advice that you should ignore. What's up, everyone? My name's Pete. I'm a portrait and concert photographer based in New York, and today I want to give you my top 5 worst pieces of photography advice. I want to dispel these myths today, or at least give you good pause to second guess them, because I hear this stuff all the time, and it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It really is. So in no particular order, here we go. Number 5, you need more expensive gear to take better photos. Now look, the gear does not matter. What matters? You are the factor that matters. Now, I get a lot of stuff sent to me that I get on loan from companies to try out. And you know what I noticed? Whether I'm shooting a Fuji camera, a Canon camera, a Nikon camera, or a Sony camera, the photos look like my work. Do you know why? Because I took them. So the most important thing that you need to focus on if you want to make your photos better, it's you, big guy. It's you, big girl. You are the focus. Buying that new lens is not going to make you a better photographer. Do you know what's going to make you a better photographer? Taking more photos. Now, for me personally, I took, I don't know how many thousands upon thousands of photos and did so many shoots before I was finally like, oh, I think I'm starting to get it now. So my advice to you is just use what you have, save some money, and just set up a ton of photo shoots. What will make you better is practicing. Number 4, post-processing is cheating. I mean, this is insanity. Who came up with this nonsense? Here's the truth. Every great photographer post-processes, every single one. Like, when I was in my photography class, when I was like in college in circa year 2000, I was out with my Canon A1 taking a bunch of photos. I went back and developed the film. I put the film in the enlarger. I put the paper in the enlarger. And then I just pushed the button. I said, straight on the camera, baby. No, I spent, I don't know how much time dodging and burning. I had this lollipops and all this other crap going on there. And so we always post-process. Photographers have always post-processed. Now, how much post-processing should you do? I don't know. That really depends on the photographer. Some photographers do a lot. Some photographers do a little. That's a matter of taste and what you're into. I like to take my photos in camera, get them, I would say like 90%, 95% where I want it to be, and then I just tweak them when I post-process. Number 3, you don't need to shoot in manual mode. All right, this is gonna offend some people, but you do need to shoot manual. Let's be honest. You must learn how to shoot in manual. Why? Because auto controls everything, okay? Now, yes, you can exposure compensate for stuff, but there's no shortcut for learning the exposure triangle. And let's be honest, it's 3 things. It's not that hard. It's not rocket science to learn how a shutter speed and aperture and an ISO affect your image. Now, you just got to learn how to shoot manual, people. I mean, so for me personally, I don't even like using aperture priority or shutter priority or auto ISO. I use these sometime, and then I always find myself going back to shooting manual because it's just, for me personally, it's easier to control stuff. So however you shoot, even if you wind up shooting auto and then adjusting, you must understand how manual exposure works. If you don't, you're severely handicapping your ability as a photographer. You just are. So it's not that hard. Watch a bunch of YouTube videos. Go watch some Phronos Photo. Jared will teach you how to use your exposure triangle. He'll get you there quickly. Go do it, and it's just going to make you better. Number 2, don't shoot portraits wide open. I've ranted about this before, and the truth is, you can shoot portraits at whatever aperture you like. It doesn't matter. And for me, I like shooting portraits super wide open. I'll shoot the eye in focus, and the tip of the nose will be blurry, and the ears will be blurry. So there's nothing wrong with shooting portraits wide open. Now, there's practical reasons why people don't shoot wide open. 1, they can't because they get blurry photos. I get that. So if you're brand new and you're not really good at it, practice and become good at it. And then you can shoot it 1-2 all day long. I shoot it 1-2 all day long. I love it. It's great. The photos are beautiful. It's a vibe. And guess what? I also stop down. So you can do both. There's no like one way to do it and the other way is wrong. The other reason people don't shoot wide open, a little bit more practical. Some lenses just aren't that great wide open. The best sharpness is when you stop down just a little bit. I get that, but assuming you're using newer gear and it's pretty sharp wide open, even a lot of the third-party lenses nowadays are like super sharp wide open, go for it. Give it a try. See how you like it. Just ignore the photography police. Shoot wide open. Do it. And if you hate it, that's fine too. Because guess what? It's just a preference. It's a preference. That's all it is. Number one, copying kills creativity. Let me tell you a story from my life as a jazz musician, my former life, and I still do play bass, not as much as I used to. However, I spent many years as a professional jazz musician. Now, do you know how a jazz musician learns to play jazz? And I mean, going back generations, how the jazz musicians learned to play? By copying the ones that went before them. So when I was in jazz college, which is, yeah, that's the thing, I transcribed hundreds of bass solos, bass lines, horn solos, whatever, anything that inspired me. I sat down with the CD or the MP3 or the record, whatever it was, and literally learned it note by note. Not only did I learn these bass lines and bass solos note by note, but I learned to play them with the same physical attack as the bass player. So I watched the video of the bass player. So if I wanted to learn how Ray Brown played, or I learned a Ray Brown solo or a Ron Carter solo, I would watch videos of them and I'd emulate not just the notes and the articulation and the sound and the tone, but physically how they looked when they played. Now, what does this do? Well, not only does it not make you less creative, if you do this process and you take it all the way through, then it winds up making you find your own voice. I did this with photography too. When I first started, I found some mentors whose work inspired me and I just copied them. The problem is some people think, okay, I copy you and now I'm done. They get a mentor, they learn their style, and then they stop and their work just looks like kind of like a crappy version of that photographer. I am not saying that at all. What I'm saying is you absorb these different influences from different photographers, and then eventually by shooting a lot and experimenting and putting in the hard work like they did before you, your own style begins to emerge. So what do? Find a mentor or photographer whose work inspires you and go ahead and copy them mercilessly. But don't do it as an end game. Do it as a starting point to get to where you want to be. And then eventually, if you continue to do that, your own voice will emerge. Here's my rant for today. I hope you found this to be helpful. And if you did, if you like this video, subscribe, like, share, comment, do all that stuff. Check out my links below. And if you're going to be in Tennessee in January, I will be at Imaging USA. I'll link that below. I'm doing a portrait class. I would love to meet and see some of you there. So if you're in the area, that is a great place for us to connect. Here's wishing you an awesome day. Go take some great pictures. Peace.